purity of platforming.
I'm not going to edit out how long it took you to respond to my question, because it was instantaneous. You had the gun locked and loaded, ready to shoot from the hip. Oh, I see. I see what you did there.
I don't know. I'm spitballing, baby.
I hear you. Yeah, no bad ideas.
Nope. Yeah. Thank you.
No bad ideas. No criticism. I was just asking for an explanation.
Yeah. No, I was just saying we're kicking it up a notch.
We're kicking it up a notch. We're bringing it hard and heavy for your friends of friends, so that you can be like, hey, I have this podcast I've been listening to, friend of not David and Chase. Here, you should listen. And then we'll drop this episode 13 on them. And be like, whoa, spicy stuff going on in here.
Spicy pod. And 13 is my lucky number, sir.
So I was gonna broach this subject. I was a little worried that some fuckery would go down on episode 13.
Like what? What would happen? Frogs would just start pouring out of the screen.
Yeah, I think plagues are definitely a good prediction.
Probably plague probably I think is just already covered.
Yeah, that's an option. We may already sort of be in that, and I don't know that we really caused that one.
I would hope not.
Yeah, although the timeline is kind of similar, isn't it?
Oh.
We kind of started near the end or the beginning of the year.
Oh no.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, everybody. I think we unleashed a plague.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oopsies, all plagues.
You can't prove anything.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pretend like this part never happened.
Just edit it out. It's fine.
They'll never know.
They'll never know that we're actually demons.
It's us, the Corona Boys. We got you good, fuckers.
The Corona Boys. Oh my god.
Episode 13.
Wait, but is the Corona Boys like the Hardy Boys, but like the bad, nasty version?
I think it is the bad, nasty version of the Hardy Boys.
The bad, nasty boys, a.k.a. the Corona Boys.
The Corona Squad Boys. Bad, nasty boys.
Bad, nasty
Can really
boys.
roll that into one word, and it feels pretty good.
That's actually not too bad.
Bad, nasty boys.
Bad, nasty boys.
Which is pretty antithetical to what we're actually doing.
I mean, could we just take on the moniker of the Bad Nasty Boys as a tongue-in-cheek joke?
Right. Only the people who listen to it will get it. Only 90s kids remember.
The
Bad Nasty Boys. That's my favorite boy band.
Bad Nasty Boys. The B-Boys.
That's who originally wrote Who Let the Dogs Out.
The B-Nasty Boys.
This is nothing. Haven't said what this is yet. This is Video Game Podtimism.
This is the Bad Nasty Boys.
Show. This is the Bad Nasty Boys. It's Video Game Podtimism, the Optimists video game variety show where two Bad Nasty Boys talk about the wonderful world of gaming. I am Chase, and the second Bad Nasty Boy.
I'm David. I'm the bad boy. Chase is the nasty boy, and together we are the Bad Nasty Boys.
I really feel like I got the short end of the stick hitting the nasty boy.
You said you were the second of the
I was
Bad
hoping
Nasty
you would
Boys.
take the ball and run with it and go with, I'm the first. But no, you just stuck me in the corner as nasty boy.
Hey, we could switch it up every now and then.
Man, I hope so. I hope I don't have to be nasty for the whole time we record this.
No, it's fine. You can call me the nasty, but I'll call you the nasty boy. But if you do something good, you're the bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So if one of us does something like a nasty boy would do, be like, hey, you being a nasty boy.
Can you explain to me what being a nasty boy looks like?
I don't know, just being like, ooh, this game sucks.
But we don't even do that. That's our whole thing, is we don't do that.
I know, but it's just like to keep us in check.
I see. And being a bad boy is when you're being a podtimist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're going against the grain. That's what bad boys do.
It's uncool to appreciate video games as they are.
It's uncool to show appreciation and love for a medium.
Wow. Okay. That was very bad of you.
I'm feeling real bad right now.
Yeah.
I'm a B-boy.
Are you playing video games?
Yes, I am.
Which ones are you playing, David?
It's more like Witcher ones am I playing? Am I right?
Still up in it. Still in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty hard in The Witcher right now.
You were texting me about where you were, and I think that's about where like I fell headlong into the video game. Mm-hmm. Where was it? Like right after you kind of finish up is it Velen? Is that where that is?
Yeah, with the crones.
Yeah, where all the like witches in the forest and all that shit goes on. That's like when stuff in the game is starting to be like, okay, there's a whole thing going on in this video game.
Yeah, for a while I just had no fucking clue what the story was.
Yeah. Because
there's just so much of it and so many side quests. I'm just like, is this the story? Is that the story? I don't really know. But every once in a while something really cool would happen and I'd be like, okay, that's tight. But now I'm in the big city. I'm in Novigrad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very different when you get into big cities in that game. Because for like the first 15 hours, you're just in the countryside. And you're going to like little towns and that's it. And then you go into the big city and you feel like a big boy. Just like, okay, I'm in it now. So,
I am City Geraldo.
Geraldo?
Geraldo
of Rivia?
Yeah, Geraldo of Rivia.
Geraldo of Riveria? That'd be a very different video game. Do you think that's what his name is based off of? Geralt of Rivia and Geraldo Rivera are very close.
Yeah, I think the connections are a little... It's hard to look over those. I think you're onto something. I'm just asking questions.
My Witcher sense is tingling.
Got to follow those stink lines all the way to Geraldo.
That's my biggest concern with the game, is that I am colorblind.
Ooh, yeah, tough.
It is so hard to follow those wispy little ethereal red lines through their lush, like golden green world. I have such a hard... I had to go so slow. And I had to like do like 360 like every couple of steps because I don't see it.
Yeah, I have a hard time and I'm not colorblind, so I can imagine that this is not an easy part of the game.
I'm like just squinting so hard, just looking at the screen like, where do I have to go?
Mallory! Come see color for me!
Where's Geraldo need to go?
Point Geraldo in the way of the stink.
That'd be a good cosplay for anybody out there listening who does cosplay. Geraldo of Riveria.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, shit. Very, very topical too. I actually no, I take that back.
He's not even in the news anymore, is he? Is he alive? Did he die?
I was more going to comment about how The Witcher is not very hot right now, but it is still kind of hot given the TV show.
People still love The Witcher.
Mm-hmm. So you're enjoying The Witcher?
I am. It's good. It's a good game.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely one of those games that will just suck you in for like 2 hours and it doesn't feel like you did anything.
Yeah.
Which is cool and not cool at the same time.
Probably good for these times, but I imagine if you were like just in regular outdoor times, that
be a little frustrating
just
probably.
Blowing 2 hours would be like, what did I do here?
Yeah. But it's been good. It's been good so far.
Anything else?
That's really been it.
Not playing Divinity?
I didn't play it over the weekend because Mallory was out of town. But we did play it a little bit again. Just not as much because we both have started kind of ramping back up into work mode. So just not as much time for Divin, but it's still in there. It's still in the roto for sure. Just got to find the right time to do it. And then Witcher 3 has just totally overtaken XCOM.
It's eaten your XCOM time.
It's just eaten my XCOM time, but I'm sure I'll eventually get tired of Witcher 3 and switch back over to XCOM.
Yeah.
XCOM's pretty fun. And yeah, I think that's about it. I haven't really touched my Switch this week, which is rare for me.
I was about to say, that seems like a rarity.
I've been going hard on the Switch lately, but no, it's just... I'm not playing The Witcher on the Switch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
That ain't gonna work. It barely works on my PlayStation.
Your PlayStation sounds like a 747 trying to take off.
Dude, my PlayStation's been acting up lately.
Oh no.
It's been a little funky.
Oh god.
It's done some things where it's just like, sorry, we're crashing now. Did that when we played Divinity Original Sin. I lost an hour of game
Yikes, that's not a good feeling.
Lost it. Yeah, it was just like it just like froze, and I'm just like, oh shit. And Mallory's like, what's going on? She's never experienced this before. And then I'm just like trying to press things. I'm like trying to press the PlayStation Home button. I'm just like, it's over. Hard reset. Only option.
You were Gandalf in the
Mines of Moria.
Moria, that's what it was. When you heard the fucking the PS4 crash, you're like, no.
I look behind myself dramatically.
Fly, you fools!
I hear it. Yeah, it was pretty dramatic. And I did report that bug, that error, to Sony, so they know.
Oh wow, yeah,
they know.
Nice.
I video game Karen'd it. I told the manager.
I would like to speak to your Sony manager.
So yeah, that's been my video game stuff of the week.
Sweet.
What about you? What are you playing, my friend?
I have mostly 2 games that I'm doing right now that are different than the rest. I've sort of taken a break on the PlayStation for a hot second. I'm like tagging you out, and I've only been playing Switch for a second.
Okay.
So last week I downloaded and played Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a 4th one.
It like just came out. It's very recent.
Oh, they made a new one.
They made a new one, yeah.
Whoa, okay.
I was not super familiar with Streets of Rage. For those of you who aren't, it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Like Turtles in Time, or
I was about to say Turtles in Time was so good.
Final Fight, I think, was one for SNES.
Final Fight, or like Golden Axe.
Golden Axe, yeah, that's another
Golden Axe
Genesis
is very
one.
similar. Altered Beast.
Altered Beast, yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Wise from your grave.
Wise from your grave. Why can't that dude say it?
He's just got a little bit of a speech impediment as a necromancer. It's fine.
I'm going to have to put that clip in there so people know what the fuck we're talking about. Wise from your grave.
Oh, yeah, that brings me back, man.
Did you play any of the other Streets of Rages?
No, not really. I played like either 1 or 2. Like just on and off, maybe at like friends' houses as I was growing up, but
yeah,
I never like sat and played through it.
Yeah, I think I had like, this came out on the Genesis, so I think in like 92, 93, 94, they were like back to back. I think I got a Genesis late, and so I like kind of just scrounged up whatever like top games they had at the time, so I didn't really play the first 3. But I did like Final Fight a lot. I obviously like fucking Turtles in Time. It's killer. And so I'm like sort of familiar with these genres, but played through the 4th one. It's about as long as you would expect it to be, given that it's like a side-scrolling game.
Yeah.
Pretty short. I think I beat it in like a day or 2.
I
don't think it's full price, so it's not like that bad that it's not very long. And I think most of the draw of the game is playing through it like a couple times. Because you get like points and scores, and you unlock different like characters you can play. I think there's like 14 characters or something.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. It was a good game. Not crazy about it. I think there's a part of me that thinks I don't understand how to play these games right.
Sure.
Like I learned how to play them when I was very young, and so most of my strategy is just go to the right, punch dudes. I think there's like a little bit more to it. Like there's some strategy, not like in that you don't have to punch dudes or you don't have to move right, but like I'm still dying a lot. Like normal was pretty tough for me.
Gotcha. You're missing some sort of strat.
I think so. Like there's all these abilities of like you can grab people and throw people and like punch behind you kind of, and like sometimes I use that stuff, but I get the sense that there's probably a level of mastery that I do not command over these kind of games. But it was pretty good. I liked it.
Nice.
It was a fun little game.
Little jaunt to the park.
Yeah, a little jaunt. The other game that I'm playing is called Moonlighter.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's very good for me. This is very much my kind of video game.
Gotcha. Is it like Slay the Spire?
A little bit. So I'm at almost any time that there's a roguelike or a roguelite in this case, that's usually my shit. Roguelite being you can die, and like some of it is procedurally generated, but you carry over progress from one like dungeon run to the next.
Whereas a roguelike you don't.
Yeah, roguelike I think is generally like you have one pass at a certain run, and that's kind of it. Like there's not a lot of progress that's carried over. So the concept of this game is that you are a shopkeeper, I think, in a town, and you sell loot that you get from a nearby dungeon. And the dungeon that you go into, it sort of turns into like kind of like Zelda a little bit. Like it's top down, grid based. or not grid based, but like the map is a grid.
Sure.
And you move from one like quadrant to another, all of which is procedurally generated, so it's random each time you go in there. And then the loot that you get from beating the monsters, you take back up and sell and get more money, and your town gets bigger, and your swords get better, and then you can go deeper into the dungeon. Blah 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 blah. The loop of the game is just very good. It's very satisfying for me.
Okay, solid. You just like that little bit of progression each time, go a little bit farther.
Yeah, the progression each time, the sense of like each thing is getting you closer to being like better and stronger.
Sure.
The upgrades of the town and your shop are tangible, and like your shop physically gets bigger, and you get other perks and stuff like that. Your swords and spears and shit look different and do more damage. When you're selling things, the shop, it like doesn't tell you how much something is worth. And so you essentially have to, like, anytime you get a new piece of loot, you have to kind of compare it against other pieces of loot that, like, it gives you, like, a range of, like, it's kind of in this range of how valuable this is. And then you just put it for a price and see how people react to that. And so if they come in, they're like, oh, fuck that. It's, like, way too expensive. But then if they come in and they're like, oh, shit, I got to buy this. It's like, okay, that's too cheap. So,
yeah.
So you got to up your price a little bit. And some items are more or less in demand. So if it's more in demand, you can charge more for it and that sort of shit. And so for whatever reason, that's...
So it's also like a little capitalism simulator.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know why that's
Economics simulator, supply, demand.
They literally say supply and demand in the video game, so they're definitely aware of it. But
interesting.
For whatever reason, I found that pretty fun.
Yeah.
I really missed this game. It came out like 2 years ago.
Came out a while ago. Yeah, I think it came out when I was doing one of my internships still.
It was in, I think, May of 2018. I have no idea why I didn't see this game. It like I didn't read anything about it. I didn't see anything about it, or maybe I read it and like got a bad idea of what it was. But I had like seen it on the Switch shop and was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. And then it was on sale too, so I think I got it for like $10 or something. Downloaded it and I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? It's a good game.
$10? That's pretty decent.
It's pretty good.
I gotta buy this.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. It's okay. I'm really enjoying it. I've got a feeling it's not going to be a particularly long game either. Like as far as RPGs or roguelites go, there's like essentially 4 dungeon zones kind of.
Sure.
Each one sort of like the backdrop is a little different. I'm on the second like dungeon zone, probably not far from beating that one.
Sure.
And so I figure the game will probably end once you've beaten all 4 of them and maybe another boss or something. But yeah, good game. I'm into it.
You're gonna put 250 plus hours into it like you did Slay the Spire?
I'm not gonna do that probably.
I was stunned at how much time you'd put into Slay the Spire when I looked at your Nintendo Switch like most played or whatever, your playlist.
It is odd. It really snuck up on me, that one.
That's a lot of time.
It was a bus game for me for a while. It's like
bus game. Okay.
Like all I would play on my commute. And so I'm logging, daily at least like an hour to the game, right? And it's been out for a little while. So for a while I was just putting hours into that one. It's also an easy one to play before bed. It's not super demanding if you've played it a lot, unfortunately, like I have. So it's great game. Slay the Spire, also great.
There you go. Oh, I remembered one other game I did play this past week.
What other game did you play this week, David?
I played like just a little bit of Hotline Miami.
Hey, nice. Have you played that before?
No, my cousin bought like a physical copy of like the Switch version, which also came with like a download code for a digital copy of it.
Hey.
And he's just like, hey, anybody want this? And
Gaming the system, as they say.
No one else needed it, so I just took it. But man, that game really kicks my ass for some reason.
It's hard. That game's hard.
I got to like the first level and I couldn't get past it. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I've beaten Sekiro. What am I doing wrong? Got a little indignant about it.
I'm a core gamer.
I'm a core gamer. What am I missing here? But it's fun. It's very stylish. It's cool. I'll probably jump back into it at some point, but
nice.
It's fun.
I've got something that's been fueling my sense of podtimism.
Let's hear it.
It's collaboration, David.
Okay.
It's collaboration.
Sure.
When we talk about good games, there's a specific thing that I didn't realize was a thing, but there was some inter-game developer collaboration that happened on this project that we're going to talk about.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it as well.
Every now and then, like, game companies will do that where they're like, hey, we're partnering with this other studio to do this thing, or like some kind of cross-pollination. Like Doom and Animal Crossing communities kind of did this when those games were coming out. Or like there was all those memes about Isabelle like going to hunt demons and the Doom guy going to the Animal Crossing towns and shit like that. That's really fun. It's rarely as explicit as the example we're going to talk about, but it is pretty cool to see when that happens. Because it seems like I feel like game developers by and large are not particularly protective people. Like a lot of these people are programmers, and so like the open source community is definitely a thing there. And so like when the opportunity arises, it seems like there's definitely a collaborative sense that can spring up.
Totally.
It's cool.
That is cool.
It's got me feeling bad.
Ooh. All right.
Got me feeling bad.
Yeah, those developers aren't being nasty boys. They're being bad boys.
Bad boys. Bad nasty boys.
But sometimes you need a little bit of nasty to get the full bad nasty boys.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's yin and yang. You need both.
Just a little bit of the nasty.
We just bring most of the bad here and just a little bit of nasty.
Just a little bit.
A little stink on it.
A little stench for the nostrils.
Do you have something that's just podtimistically good this week? Something in video games that you're super appreciative of?
My podtimistic thing is the rich world that can be made in a video game.
Oh, that's a big one, I feel like.
That's a big one. I feel like video games are unique in their way to world build, because it's you kind of like almost physically interacting with it, right? About as close as you can get with a fictional world, right? And I guess when I was playing The Witcher 3, just the depth of the lore and all like the different bestiary entries that you read, and everybody has their different weaknesses and whatever. You have to like craft oils and stuff. And then also just the different characters. Like I met Triss for the first time.
Nice.
And I was like, I've never played a Witcher game before, but for some reason I was already like invested in her character real quickly because of her connection with Geralt that I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Just like she is some reason important. So I'm invested in her character now and she's cool. And I want to see what happens next.
Yep.
So it's just impressive that games are able to craft these gigantic narratives and worlds that have all these different characters and components. And it's just like every, 5 or 10 minutes, there's like a new character who pops up that apparently was a character in one of the old Witcher games that like all the fans would recognize immediately. But I'm just like, well, it's just a new person, but apparently have this huge backstory with Geralt, and I just don't even know.
Who the fuck is Dandelion? Who is this guy?
Who is Dandelion? He's apparently the narrator. I had no idea. Just Dandelion, okay. And then like this guy, this spy master guy, is now like a fucking crime boss in the city I'm in. Apparently he and Geralt have some history. And then there's this little dwarf, and he and Geralt have some history. And there's Triss, and she and Geralt have some history. Just like, I don't even know. And then I'm just like stuck reading their backstories to just figure out what's going on. It's really impressive.
I've watched some like YouTubes of here's all the Witcher backstory, and it still wasn't all that clear.
I tried to do that a couple times when I was trying to get into The Witcher 3 the first time. I'm just like, I'll just go and like watch a video. And it's just like
clarify.
All the videos are like 30 minutes long.
They're long.
And I'm just like, I don't got this time. And by the end of the video, I've retained absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Because there's just so much. There's so much of it. It's crazy. It's a crazy dense game.
I agree that the worlds are pretty cool.
The worlds are cool.
In video games, I think video games also have the luxury of you spending a lot of time in them.
Sure.
A movie's got like 2 to 3 hours tops.
Right.
I guess a book is pretty good, but not nearly as visceral. But a game you can kind of just go exist in for hundreds of hours if you so choose.
Easily.
So they got the luxury of your time for sure.
Most definitely.
It's a good one. I like that one.
Thank you. It took me a second to formulate it, but I got there.
You know, in post-production, it's going to seem like it took no time at all.
I'm going to seem so smart. It's going to be great.
You always do. You always sound like a smart bad boy.
I'm an educated bad boy.
Unlike me, the dumb, nasty man.
Nasty boy, please.
Yeah, that's fair. There are no men here. We are only boys.
Oh, no. New tagline for the pod. No men here, only boys.
Only boys. Yikes. Boys only club.
Oh no, we
It's
cannot.
not good.
That is bad.
The phrasing is somehow worse.
It's the implication.
We need to move on to good games before this gets worse.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
So last week we talked about Jak and Daxter.
Sure did.
And in passing, we had mentioned a young rivalry that we had developed between Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it was like Sony's Civil War.
Yeah, we were definitely both being nasty boys trying to defend our own IPs.
We were big time nasty boys.
Yeah, that was definitely there. We were being awfully non-Podtimistic, trying to shit on each other's game choices, despite the fact both of us played both of those games. Like, it wasn't like
very true.
those games are unplayable. We were both like, no, they're both very good. One of them is just a little bit better. So we thought it might be appropriate to talk about the other end of this equation and talk about Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, baby.
So this is, of course, Good Games, the section where we talk about, or the segment where we talk about the games of yesteryear and gush about all the things that we love about them. Normally, as in not last week and this week, we choose games that are kind of in that C to B range, maybe even D, depending on how bad the game is. But we've chosen a couple of games that have been pretty well regarded for quite some time. Jak was pretty well reviewed, and I think Ratchet and Clank, for the most part, or at least in the games that we're going to talk about, are pretty well reviewed. They're also pretty good games, so may have less by the way of criticism, but more by the way of gushing to do about them.
Sure do.
So, quick stats. Ratchet and Clank was developed by Insomniac Games, who also put out Spyro. Spyro the Dragon was kind of their first big hit. They put out, I think, 3 of those for the PlayStation. And then they did Ratchet and Clank for a while. They went on to make Resistance, that first-person shooter for the PlayStation 3, I think. I think it was like
Resistance,
a launch title.
Fall of Man.
Yep. Most notably, I think recently they did that, the Marvel Spider-Man video game, which was chef's kiss. Very good. It was a very, very good Spider-Man game.
It was quite fun.
Insomniac had first put out Ratchet and Clank in November of 2002. That was when the first one came out. And I believe in typical early 2000s fashion, they put out a lot of them very quickly thereafter. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando came out in 2003. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal came out in 2004. And then Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked came out in 2005. So yearly they were putting these things out.
Deadlocked. No one cares about that one.
It was less good, I think.
Wasn't it like a multiplayer one?
It was multiplayer. I think Clank was not in it. Like, he was like on your comms rather than playing with him.
Oh.
The tone of the game was just very different. I think it was when Ratchet and Clank were trying to go by the way of Jak 2 and 3 and become more serious and shootery.
Sure.
For the most part, we're going to be talking about those first 3. The original, Going Commando, and Up Your Arsenal. Do you want to explain what the game is, like, mechanically?
Sure. It's like a third-person shooter with a bunch of upgradable and unlockable guns that do progressively cooler and more destructive things.
I think that's pretty appropriate.
And it's a platformer, too.
It's a platformer. Elements. There's some jumping to be done.
But the star of the show is really the guns.
I think that's the case, yeah. So at the time, I think the game was lauded for platforming being pretty good. Like Jak and Daxter, the animation was really like top quality. Like the facial animations were very, very good. The game ran really well. It was very smooth. I don't know how well the comedy has aged, but at the time I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard to tell because I was, 12 when the first one came out.
Yeah, so, it's hard to know what's actually funny when you found that funny when you were a kid.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was a lot of like irreverent humor sort of stuff, and I don't know that I would love that now, but...
Did you play the remake recently on the PlayStation 4?
I did, yeah.
I felt like a lot of the comedy landed kind of flat for me on that one, personally.
I had looked at some comparisons of that one to the first one, like the original version of the game, and they changed a lot of the dialogue. Like, it isn't one for one the same, like, writing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it wasn't as funny because the original wasn't as funny, or they translated it over to make it less funny. But yeah, it also kind of fell a little flat for me on that one as well. Like I said, it was reviewed pretty well, so was well regarded even at the time.
Also, I forgot. I totally thought Naughty Dog did Spyro, but Insomniac did Spyro. I was totally wrong last week. It's just looking like a fool now. Oops.
What I was mentioning before about the collab was that Insomniac and Naughty Dog had this like sort of union, as far as not union, but there's a collaboration that they had where I believe it was that they were somehow collaborating on engine work.
Okay.
Like the engines of their games were both founded, I think, on similar code. I'd seen some interviews with some folks at Naughty Dog who were disputing that claim, saying like, oh, like Insomniac didn't build the whole engine that we're running. So I'm sure it's more complicated than that. There's like a lot of people to attribute for that. But my understanding is that in some way, those two companies were like kind of trading secrets on how to make a really clean and polished game. Gotcha. I think specifically around draw distance, that like when in the game you can look pretty far in the distance and it still be rendered fairly well. Whereas I think that wasn't really the case in the games at the time. Like they kind of had to either put things behind fog or not render it very well far away or anything like that. Whereas both those games had a pretty far draw distance. So fuck yeah, collaboration.
Fuck yeah, collaboration.
Okay. Things that are good about this game.
Let's hear it.
I feel like I've been talking forever. Do you want to start?
Yeah. It was one of the first like funny games I played as a kid that wasn't like a point and click game. It was like a funny shooter actiony game, which was much more my style, which was awesome. The story was pretty engaging for back then, right? It was interesting. It was dynamic, compelling. And I mean, now don't they have a movie made out of Ratchet and Clank too?
They did. It was not particularly great, but they do have one.
But that's the kind of quality that it was. Like it felt like you were watching a movie at some point, like an animated kids movie.
Yeah.
And then really the biggest thing that I remember was just how good all the guns felt. Like all the strafing, locking on, like the environments were large enough where you could kind of play around with all the different weapons pretty easily and not feel like you were getting squished or, run down or anything. It felt like it very much kind of set you up to explore and use the guns to your desire, as opposed to like really challenging you or like overwhelming you with things. So a different kind of game in that aspect, but fun.
That's true. That like I feel like in a lot of games, a game will give you a certain amount of assets like potions or ammo or something like that, and you're constantly worried that you're going to use it at the wrong time, essentially. Like, I need to save this for later or for a boss fight or something because I'm not going to have enough something. But
resource management.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about Ratchet and Clank that like they did such a good job. I think it was somebody in there was just very good with tweaking numbers, that like you would inevitably run out of ammo for some gun and you would have to switch to another one, and that they would kind of cycle you through that pretty regularly. So like you could use your favorite gun, but you got to switch to something else eventually. And so they would force you to use other stuff and use other guns. And so like you were constantly just moving between, okay, I got to use this like big explodey thing for the crowds, and then I've got like kind of a fast shooter for the big guys, and then something else, and blah, blah, blah. And like somebody at Insomniac was tweaking the knobs to the point where your the loop was that you were constantly cycling through all these things. And I think that works pretty well. You're right. When I was younger, and still when I played the remake, the thing that drew me in and kept me moving through the boring parts, like not every inch of that game is incredible, but most of it is. But there's parts where it's like, I don't know that I really want to shoot 100 more dudes, but I think if I shoot 100 more dudes, my gun's gonna upgrade, and I gotta see what the fuck is on the next side of that upgrade.
That was another big part of it, was that the more you use it, the cooler it would get.
Yeah.
And it'd have like really cool visual tweaks that they would do to it too. And it would kind of just like start off looking kind of, ho-hum, whatever, pretty basic. And then just by the end, you'd get like this giant fucking thing that would just destroy people. Even if it was like the beginning gun, just like the last stage of it would just be super powerful, which is cool.
I think they tapped into the same desire in my lizard brain that likes to watch Pokemon evolve. It's like I gotta get him to the next stage.
Gotta level him up all the way.
I don't know if this is actually correct, but if I remember correctly, in the later games, like they even had multiple levels of upgrades where it's like not just you get the 1 to the 2, but like for many guns, it was like, this is the first level, this is the second level, this is the third, and they all had like very distinct looks to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I think at the time that just kind of wasn't really done all that often. That like visual upgrades in video games were pretty rare, just because like it was hard to develop assets for 3D video games. So they didn't have the time to make 3 different versions of the same gun. They would just make one. Mm-hmm. But as a kid, I was like, oh my God, like it's red now and he's carrying it and it's doing a bunch of different shit. Like that's crazy.
It's like it shoots fire now as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? It shoots blades.
They had that integration that, like, I guess you can kind of point to Skyrim as another example where the more you use something, the better your skill at it gets.
Yeah.
And so it's a satisfying experience just to literally click the button that says shoot, right? Like you're able to get this feedback loop of, even if I'm not enjoying the moment-to-moment gameplay, I am progressing.
It's that dopamine button. Just
I think so, yeah.
Keep hitting this button. Your brain's going to like it. Keep going.
There was this is kind of a sidebar, but I did this profile, like video game motivation profile from Quantic Foundry.
Okay.
It asked you like a series of questions. It's kind of like Myers-Briggs or something like that.
Uh-huh.
They like analyze what your motivation in video games is. Achievement is my number 1.
I'm not surprised at all.
I want to achieve the video game.
There you go. Okay.
You should do it between now and next week when we can talk about our profiles.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay.
10 minutes is too long.
It's pretty interesting though.
Yeah.
Definitely worth it. Ratchet and Clank really tapped into this achievement-driven stuff where I want to max out all the levels of the guns. I want to see what the end versions of these guns look like and how much they can beat a dude.
Sure.
This sort of motivation is always sort of confusing for me because I can't help but want it. But when I play it out in my mind, it's not quite satisfying. Like when I think about what is it going to be like when I have every upgraded version of the gun and I can just sort of wipe the floor with these bad guys. And that's not a particularly fun part of the game for me.
No, it's you've beaten the game and now life is meaningless. It's like One Punch Man.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you get to be the strongest there is, and that's like, well, what do I do now?
It's just like, who cares at that point? Like I can just beat anybody with my eyes closed. So
yeah, it's sort of the ladder of getting there that's more exciting to me. I guess.
Yeah, the Chaos Ladder.
I guess so, yeah. Very weird.
The little finger ladder.
Ratchet and Clank is a ladder.
Jesus. My question for you is...
Yes.
How is it better than Jak and Daxter?
Oh, God.
I will attack you. Just so you know.
Well, at least I know your knives are out up front. This is hard, because... I'm going to drudge up a bunch of 14-year-old arguments for why this game is good.
This is great.
Why would I want to spin in a circle and hit a dude when I could shoot them with a gun instead?
So
Question for you.
So you're a gun boy.
It's hard for me not to answer these real. Because, like...
They took my gun.
Took my guns. No, let me be a little bit more realistic with my answer here. I think the inclusion of an experience bar makes this game better for me. The fact
good
that
old achievement gamer.
That's me, baby. That's what I want.
There's a bar I can fill up.
I want that.
Oh my God.
The experience bar at the bottom of the World of Warcraft screen is a problem for me. I can't help but just like, I gotta get it up in there. I gotta fill this up.
You're so different from me in many ways.
It's odd. Like I don't conceptualize myself this kind of person, but I can't help it. I want to optimize and get all these bars to max.
Sure.
12-year-old me thought Ratchet and Clank was funnier.
Okay.
I think it had edgier jokes.
I think so. Yeah. Definitely edgier
Which is, again,
jokes.
something as a 30-year-old dude I don't really care about. Like, this is not the top priority.
The second one's called Going Commando, bro. Isn't that funny?
Isn't it funny that they said up your arsenal?
Up your arsenal. Do you get it?
Do you get it? Like a butt?
Yeah.
Like a butt?
Like a butthole.
It's not quite as funny in hindsight, but...
In hindsight?
To be fair, I feel like even at the time, I was a little bit like, this isn't that funny. Like, the name of the game is not that funny.
Yeah. Yeah, back then even I was just like, okay, I see what you're doing. That's fine. That's cute. Good job.
I think the writing was pretty good at the time. I'm reluctant to stand behind this argument because I just feel like I'm gonna see a clip of this game, just be like, oh fuck, that's not funny. Like, this isn't good.
I mean, that's pretty much every single Daxter moment in Jak and Daxter.
I see. My instinct though is that they may have aged better because it wasn't quite as edgy.
It wasn't. He was just kind of like pathetic.
He was a dingus. Like, Daxter was a dingus, but like, dinguses are always funny.
It's true.
Somebody being dumb is always kind of like, haha.
You're dumb.
He said something stupid. Haha.
I will laugh at you, you weasel man.
You weasel dude.
Weasel dude.
I feel like Jak and Daxter probably aged better as far as the funnies go. I think I would still enjoy playing Ratchet and Clank more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when playing through Jak and Daxter, like, part of what was fun was how well thought out the mechanics were in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those mechanics went on to like grow a lot in the later games and just in like game design in general. So it's like, it might be less fun to play through those having had those things evolved.
Sure.
Where unfortunately enough, the dopamine tick of an experience bar going up is still pretty much the same mechanic that it has been since
still gets
2002. You going. And unfortunately enough, it is what gets me going.
Hey, I'm not going to ick your yum.
Yeah, maybe somebody needs to yuck my yum, man. It's not good motivation for playing a video game.
Man. Surprised you didn't get more into Cities Skylines then.
It definitely got me. The first like 10 hours or so, I think I liked quite a bit. Where like you're pretty quickly unlocking shit over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
When you got like that second level of districts, that's when I was like really like, oh fuck yeah, we're moving and grooving here.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can create like the denser housing districts, and the denser work districts.
Yeah. That's good shit.
Do you have an argument for why Jak is better than Ratchet and Clank?
Why do I want to be on rails and just shooting things down a corridor? Why, when I can just explore a whole open environment? Why do I want to shoot guns when I can just enjoy the purity of platforming?
I'm not gonna edit out how long it took you to respond to my question because it was instantaneous. You had the gun locked and loaded, ready to shoot from the hip, ready to roll.
Yeah, dude. I had my yellow eco ready to go.
Why do you think that it's a trash game for trash people and shitty gameplay? I hate it.
If you like that game, you are a clown. You are a clown. I'm bringing the nasty right now. I'm being a nasty boy.
Bring it down hard.
Bring a nasty boy.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's my biggest gripe with the Ratchet and Clank games, is that it is just very linear. You just go through a level on rails and you shoot things, and the shooting things is fun. That's what you're going for. It's like a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
As I guess if you're being overly simplistic with how you describe it, would be the negative way to frame it. It's just a shooting gallery, you know? When it's obviously it's much more than that. It is very linear, though. It's very linear. It's very linear. I remember Jak and Daxter just had bigger open environments where you could go and explore and do things and find some hidden stuff and stuff like that. You can still find hidden stuff in Ratchet and Clank, but
yeah, just
not the same freedom. Right?
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. So that's my feeling. That's my feeling personally.
There are some games that I don't enjoy because they are so linear. I'm thinking specifically of Final Fantasy 13.
Sure. Okay.
It's just so straightforward. I think because I was there for the experience gain tick, see the guns get better, to unlock new guns. I was also there for like the cutscenes and the comedy of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That I guess I didn't mind that it was on rails, because it is very linear. Like, I think even if you're trying to defend that game, that you can't really argue at that point. You pretty much go from point A to point B, and maybe there's some exploration after you're done with that, like some side spots you can
go back, and like with a new gun you can get through a certain area or something, or new like upgrade.
Right, but that like isn't the main point of the game. When you go to a new level, it's like you got to go from here to there, and like there's a bunch of dudes in your way, so shoot them.
Mm-hmm. I
will say the inclusion of something in Ratchet and Clank that takes any of my games straight to the top. It's got a Coliseum.
You always love those Coliseums.
Love a Coliseum.
Once again, going to the achievement thing.
It hits so many good parts for me. I can unlock a bunch of shit without having to progress the story, so that when I get back into the main story, I'm like OP and way strong.
You just want the hyperbolic time chamber.
Truly. No, the hyperbolic time chamber spoke to me on an emotional level. I was like, oh God, if I could just like go get ahead.
Just a year and it's a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My God, I could be so powerful.
There you go.
Become Ascended Saiyan.
I never touch coliseums or arenas in games, really. Like,
oh my God, really?
Maybe, depending on the game. I think I did it in like Kingdom Hearts in the first one.
Oh my God, dude, I sunk so many fucking hours into the Coliseum.
I remember you beat Sephiroth after like a bajillion tries. You were going crazy.
Lot, yeah.
You were going nuts. And I was just like, I didn't even know you could fight Sephiroth. I like got to the dog. I got to the hound. Cerberus the second time, and that was it. I was just like, I'm done. The only one that really ever got me as far as like Coliseum arenas goes is Hollow Knight.
I was going to ask if you did that one. The one at Hollow Knight was very good.
The one at Hollow Knight's really good. I think that's just because Hollow Knight is really good.
I was about to say, just that game is very good. So it's a testament to the video game itself.
Just more combat I can do in Hollow Knight.
Here is my thought. I think Ratchet and Clank holds that the lizard brain part of my brain appreciates Ratchet and Clank a lot. Mm-hmm. I'd be willing to bet that Jak and Daxter may have aged better.
It's possible.
I think that's a thing that's probably true.
I'll have to go back and play it.
I think we will, and then we'll have to come down one way or the other. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Any final thoughts on Ratchet and Clank?
It was fun.
It's fun.
It's not as good as Jak and Daxter.
Well, welcome to Nasty Boys.
I'm flipping Chase off right now.
Welcome to Nasty Boys, where two nasty boys are nasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good game. They're both good games.
Back in the bad.
My preference is Jak and Daxter, but I cannot deny that I had some great moments and times with Ratchet and Clank with all those guns. I love the disco ball gun.
Very good. Very good gun.
I just love the gun that shoots a bunch of spinning blades everywhere and just slices and dices people. Mm-hmm. And just any of the guns that shoots like a shit ton of missiles. I was always about that.
Very satisfying.
More missiles, more good, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you hear that Podtimistic video game review you just did?
I did, because I'm a bad boy.
It's dense with bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, with that, let's move on to the next part.
Let's do it.
So, for those of you who don't know, Cinco de Mayo is a lie. It's not Cinco de Mayo. That's not the most important part.
Wait, you're going to piss a lot of people off by saying that.
Fair. Okay. Cinco de Mayo is a fib.
Oh. It's just a lie with a better PR team.
Cinco de Mayo is an important day. However, there is also an important thing that happens on Cinco de Mayo.
That depending on who you are and what your relationships are, could be more important to you personally than Cinco de Mayo.
It is Emily Alice Gerhardt's birthday.
HBD.
HBD from Sweepy BBDB.
You got it. That's me.
You. You got it.
Sweepy BBDB, HBD.
As the video game Podtimists, we realized that we need to throw a birthday party.
Yeah, just a light one. A little, just like kickback, really.
Yeah, but I was Googling on the internet video game birthday parties. Trash. All I see on there is just surface level nonsense.
Nasty boy.
Cakes in the shape of an Xbox controller.
Weak. Birthdays
at Chuck E. Cheese. Cool if you're 10.
Yeah, pretty weak.
Cool if you're 10. I see banners that say happy birthday, and then there's like Mario looking tough in the background. It's me.
Mario looking tough?
It's a me. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Tough Mario.
None of these are capturing what make video games fun. None of these birthday parties are really getting down into the mechanics of the video games.
They don't understand video games like you do, Chase.
Nor you.
Nor I. It's true.
So, I have scrounged, and I have managed to find out that one Emily Alice Gerhardt likes three games.
Okay.
One is an amalgamation of many games. It is Sim Theme Park.
I didn't even know there's a Sim theme park.
It is pretty good. I did play that one. It was pretty tasty.
Is it like Roller Coaster Tycoon Sims?
It is definitely more like Roller Coaster Tycoon than The Sims. It's got a nice coat of paint on it. I think it strips back a little bit of the complexity, but she also likes Roller Coaster Tycoon, so both of those are in there.
Okay.
Zoo Tycoon.
Sure.
Any of the Tycoons.
All right.
Also Mario Party.
Hell yeah.
The third one she was a little less convinced on.
Okay.
And so it is either Overcooked or Animal Crossing. We're not sure which yet.
Animal Cooked?
Animal Cooked, which is kind of like Overcooked.
Overcrossing?
Overcrossing. And I think what we need to do is plan our birthday party, but I think we need to include deeper mechanics of these video games.
Each, essentially 3 or 4.
Essentially 4 video games in the birthday party. I don't want pictures of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I want the mechanics of Roller Coaster Tycoon at the birthday party.
This is a rogue-like video game birthday party. You get one piece of the cake, then you die. You come back, you get another piece of the cake, you die until you get the whole cake.
Okay.
We're done.
So you do keep some of the progression.
No, she doesn't like roguelikes. She doesn't like roguelikes.
No, that's not even in the list.
This is Groundhog's Day now. Just relax, cast black magic on you.
So I say let's start at the top.
Okay.
We do need an aesthetic. This birthday party does need to look like something.
Sure.
I want you to put your hand in the bag of these video games and pull me out what this birthday party is going to look like.
I mean, I feel like the obvious choice is Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. The second choice was going to be Mario Party, but I think either of these is pretty good, right?
It's got to be Animal Crossing. That game is just all aesthetic, right?
Yeah, true. Okay, so we fly her to a private island.
Fly her to a private island, and she gets off the plane. Immediately talks to a raccoon, I guess, right?
It will be me, but I am going to be dressed up as Tom Nook.
You dressed as a raccoon, okay. And you will give her
debt.
You'll give her debt.
Debt immediately, a lot of debt,
with which she can then craft her own birthday room.
Yes, it is a lot of self-directed fun in this birthday, but yes.
Well, she'll decide what she wants and where it goes, and then everybody else will just put it there for her. How about that?
Sure.
Would she enjoy that?
Yes.
You know her better.
Yes. No, I think having a team of her friends dressed up as animals is good, and then also telling them how to arrange a room is also good, with aesthetically pleasing items. I think this is a good start.
All things she would like. Things that she has already put in her home from Animal Crossing.
Ah, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
So they're already vetted as being cute.
Yeah.
There you go.
She has 2 turtles in her Animal Crossing house. I will get 2 turtles.
Where those turts go?
Where those turts go? What those turts do?
Show me what them turts do, baby.
Oh, God. Given the context of the rest of the video game... I want to get that
on a shirt.
What those turts do?
Show me what them turts do, baby. It's just 2 turtles on it. Anyways, Continue. What were you going to say?
The context of the rest of the Animal Crossing may be a little bit dangerous. I think handing her a backpack with like an axe and a shovel and a slingshot and a fishing rod may be...
Well, that's where we can switch over to a different game.
Okay, so I don't have to give my significant other an axe.
No, you don't.
Hey, baby, it's me, Tom Nook. I'm giving you a bunch of deadly weapons.
Is that how Tom Nook sounds?
No. In my headcanon, it is,
though. Is he an elderly Italian gentleman who smokes
like a
cigarettes?
Sleazy New York landlord.
Oh, God. I just feel gross just thinking about that.
But he smells good like pizza. Not good like soap, but good like something delicious.
I don't know if I would say it's good if someone smelled like pizza.
Oh, that's my dream.
Is it?
That's all I want.
I guess it's a difference between like if it's pizza you ate or if it's pizza you cooked.
That is a distinct
If it's pizza
difference.
you cooked, you probably smell more like dough, which is going to be a little bit better, as opposed to just like
grease and pepperoni.
grease and sweat. Not so good.
Okay, so we've transported her to this island where we have a birthday house. This is a pretty big island, so we have a lot of room to work with here. What else can we do on the island?
Okay, so the other games we have left are Roller Coaster Tycoon and Sims Theme Park.
And Zoo Tycoon.
And Zoo Tycoon and Overcooked?
And Overcooked and Animal Crossing. We already did Animal Crossing. Also Mario Party.
And Mario Party. Okay. The next thing that happens is that she leaves the room and she gets transported onto a roller. Does she like roller coasters, or she just like roller coasters? Like she likes roller coasters.
Yeah, she does.
And it's just a roller coaster waiting for her outside the door of the house that she made in Animal Crossing, right?
That's very good.
And it could be like one of the roller coasters she made like back in the day.
We got to go dig up some save files.
Yeah, I got to go dig up old Robbie Earhart's old computers. and find her favorite, her masterpiece on there, and then recreate that IRL.
That would be a dream. This is a very good idea.
You're welcome.
It's and funny. That's a good idea.
It also goes through her zoo.
Okay, we also have a zoo now.
It's a zoo and it's a roller coaster.
My thought would also be, so definitely dig up the save files. This is a good idea. I also think have a bunch of people make their own roller coasters and then bring them to her and say, we fucked up. These are terrible. Please help us fix them.
Oh, does she like fixing things?
Yes.
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 Okay. Oh, you know what you could do?
What's that?
You could have a like Hot Wheels competition. That's kind of like if you're not actually going to make, if you're going for like more of a grounded birthday party as opposed to just like, I'm Jeff Bezos and I'm making a fucking island for you that has a roller coaster that I just made.
Yes.
You like,
which I do.
Okay, cool. But also like Hot Wheels is probably the closest thing you could get to IRL roller coaster creation.
Sure, that's fair. So in thinking about this, I think what I really need to do is I will need to go talk to Rick Moranis.
Ooh, okay, I see where this is going.
And we can make miniatures of the roller coasters and the zoos. I will have to also talk to Rick Moranis about the real-sized animals that I will need to make smaller. But I'm going to talk to Rick Moranis and be like, hey, I would like to shrink the kids, Mr. Moranis.
So are you shrinking the things and the creatures, or are you shrinking the people?
So what I'll be doing is there will be models of roller coasters that we can construct.
Okay.
We can also shrink our bodies down to ride the roller coasters.
Okay.
However, something I know that M likes to do in these games is to like optimize and make the most money in the parks.
Okay.
So that we do need to build an economy and then shrink the economy down to...
And also just nickel and dime all over friends.
See, this is what I think we need to get like some sea monkey sort of situation going on. Like,
oh, okay, so not real people.
I think, making them like faceless nobodies is probably going to be pretty important to exploiting the market. So you're
saying we need to create living creatures for the sole purpose of
being exploited for their money,
economically enslaving them.
Oh, yes! Happy birthday!
It's every woman's dream. Every woman's dream. How'd you know I wanted sea monkey slaves?
Say happy birthday this year with an entire economy directed towards your personhood.
My God.
Every kiss begins with capitalism exploitment.
We are creating a terrifying utopia.
Yeah, it's going to be really good for just a few people. Look at this society. Okay, that's pretty good. And then once we're all tired from being in the sun on these roller coasters and looking at these aminals,
we'll have a cooking competition.
We will have a cooking competition, and you will have to hit blocks and go around.
Oh yeah, Mario
the
Party.
Game board.
Ooh, oh no, yeah. Okay, here we go. All the different mini games are cooking mini games.
So all of our friends come over, still dressed as animals. I would like to remind everyone. And we're gonna play Mario Party, but yes, you're right. The mini games are cooking games, and we will have to make a food.
Exactly. There's floating platforms, and propane burners on little floating things in Hale's pool.
It's just Hale's backyard.
I'm just imagining Hale's backyard.
Yeah,
that's the party place in my mind.
Yep.
But yeah, you have to just risk it for a biscuit and just get out there on those floaties with some fire and some knives and raw meat.
Somebody needs to make a fucking filet mignon. Sorry, bro.
You gotta go. You gotta cook that steak.
10 coins. Gotta
chop those carrots, man. Gotta chop them.
I need some chicken noodle soup. God damn it!
Are you trying to get the secret star?
The superstar?
At the end? Are you trying to get the superstar? You trying to get the minigame star? Huh? What are you gonna do?
Or are you trying to act like a little wiener? You trying to be a nasty boy?
Is that being a nasty boy, or are you being a nasty boy? Or are they both being nasty boys?
Tough to decide. I think I need to think about the Nasty Boy extended universe a little bit longer to figure that one out.
It's true. We need. There's more boys in there for sure.
There's always more boys in there.
The bad nasty boys.
So we will need to figure out how to make Wario be alive.
Why Wario? Does she love Wario?
No, but he's a bad guy. Luigi too.
So we're animating Wario and Waluigi. Or Luigi or Waluigi?
Luigi and Wario, I think, are going to be good antagonists while we're playing this game.
Luigi's a bad guy.
Yes, yeah.
Ooh, heel turn, okay.
It's the ones you love the most.
I'm ready for it.
I'm not talking about animating Luigi and Wario.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about conjuring Luigi and Wario.
Techromancy?
We may need to get into techromancy.
Okay.
Or necromancy. I don't know if they're dead.
But they're not human. They're electricity.
Maybe they are now. So it may be easier to go through technomancy. But this story of Mario may be based on a very old biblical account.
An old fable?
Yeah.
About an Italian plumber?
They take some liberties in the newer versions. But
the biblical times really known for their plumbing.
It's a tale as old as time. Things sure are hard here in Egypt. But man, I sure do love my well-running toilet.
Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. It's pristine. Cistern.
Yeah, we will have to conjure. We'll have to learn the dark arts of technomancy to bring Luigi and Wario into our painful flesh world.
Okay. You really framed that pretty negatively.
I mean, it's going to be painful for them. They're not meant for this place.
Yeah, they probably never have felt pain before.
No, the way they react in games sort of suggests that they have not felt pain. Maybe emotional, but certainly not physical.
Yeah. Like they experience their code telling them to be dazed, but they don't experience pain.
Yeah. What do we do with them after we're done with this Mario Party?
I guess we kill them, right?
I guess.
Just end their suffering in the meat space.
Maybe that's the end of the birthday party.
All right, Wario and Luigi are dead. You're just walking, you're just covered in like green and yellow blood, just everything. Just like, all right, see you guys. Party favors out back.
The ritual is complete.
The ritual is complete. You may leave now.
The cycle has begun anew.
God. Oh man, that took a turn. Took a turn. You started off with just like a nice kind of furniture arranging birthday party, and then it just turned to death.
Yeah.
Turned to death. What does that say about us?
So how do we end the birthday party? What happens at the end? When is cake?
You can serve it on the cold, dead corpse of Luigi.
He's known for his stiffness. He'll be able to make a pretty good Lazy Susan.
The rigor mortis will hit in quickly with him.
Yeah, and then we'll make a cake and it says happy birthday from Tom.
I'm guessing Emily Alice will be the superstar, and she'll have all of her debt forgiven by Tom Nook, and her park and zoo will be exceptionally profitable, and she will be get a James Beard Award in the Overcooked world as being the top.
3 Michelin stars.
3 Michelin stars as an Overcooked chef.
That makes sense to me.
This is the best electronic hamburger I've ever had.
We're going around every island to find out the best corpse to eat off of on diners, drive-ins, and dead bodies.
Oh my god. Why gotta do Guy Fieri like that?
He'll show up. I know he will.
That's Apocalypse Fieri.
That sounds like a very fun birthday party to me.
I don't think I can make it this year.
Don't think you're gonna go this one.
I think I'm busy.
It's not murder. It's not murder. They're from the tech space. It's different.
I'm not gonna say anything if that's what you're concerned about.
I'll put you in the tech space. I know technomancy.
Oh my god. I should never let you learn technomancy. It's gone to your head.
Watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials. Now I'm drunk with power. Okay.
That one really went off the rocker.
Yeah, it's just how you gotta rein your birthday in, the Podtimism style.
It's episode 13. That's what's a little bit spookier.
It gets dark. We're getting nice.
Spooky.
So we're on Twitter still.
Tweet us. Chase made a very funny picture.
I made a funny picture. I'm going to make another funny picture for Ratchet and Clank. You can go see it there.
I'm ready.
We're also going to be taking this Quantic Foundry quiz and talking about it next time. I'll post a link to that so you can do your own if you want to. Find out what kind of gamer you are.
Yeah. This tells you everything you need to know about yourself. Forget everything else you learned through your own life experiences. This will tell you who you really are.
This is the important part.
Yeah. Pay attention.
So yeah, we can do all that. You can always review the show. It's always an option available to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read your name on here. We haven't talked about this in a while, but we've been doing an episode a week, which is still quarantined. Still doing great there.
Mm-hmm.
I think when the physical realm opens back up and the portal opens in front of our homes, and we may go back to the twice monthly model, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We just happen to have quite a bit of time right now, so we've got time
do.
to pump these pods out. Just a heads up for those of you who are the weekly listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any birthday gaming wisdom?
Birthday gaming wisdom?
Birthday gaming wisdom. I feel like there may be something in there. A lot of video games have been played on birthdays.
Don't let anybody try and punk you on your birthday, especially in a video game. This is your moment. You take that top spot. You don't care. You just knock everybody else down. This is a nasty boy birthday wisdom. All right, that's it.
That seemed like Mario Party specific?
Yeah. There was some anger in there.
It kind of sounded
some
like
madness.
Got a little spice on that one.
A little spice on that one. No, birthdays are about being with your friends and your loved ones and enjoying life. And what better way to do that than playing some video games? What were you gonna say?
Than beating their ass in Mario Party.
Beating their ass and murdering iconic video game characters that you summon from the digital realm.
Yeah, great. That's pretty good. I like that.
You have any wisdom?
Have a good birthday, man. Do whatever the fuck you want to. A lot of pressure gets put on birthdays.
Sure does.
Thank God.
Just
a birthday is a day to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Sure is.
Anyway, we'll see you next week when we talk about how much of a core gamer David is and how much we're all just casuals living in his space.
Core gamer, baby. Come at me.
Let's see those quiz results, y'all. I want to see them.
Let's see them. Let's hear them.
See you then.
All right. See ya.
Okay, bye.
What's going on out there?
Cooper's eating something.
It was like mad, then laughing, and then a little mad again.
Yeah. What do you get, Bean? The whole thing?
Well, I mean, I yanked it out of his mouth, but he was
Pita?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Just let him have the pita.
He's never gone after anything on the table that hard. Yeah, shit.
He's an old man. He does what he wants.
I guess so.